Serenity here. Want to welcome you to Down Home Crypto. Now tonight, I've got a really exciting piece of information to share with you. I was able to get an exclusive one-on-one interview with the founder of the hottest protocol on the planet, Onlyburns. Joining us tonight is Cyril Keir, the founder behind Onlyburns. So Cyril, welcome, bud. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.
So tell us, for those who don't know about Onlyburns, and I'm not sure who that could be, but could you give us just a real quick 30-second synopsis? What is Onlyburns?
Yeah, so Onlyburns is a meticulously crafted ecosystem that other projects and communities are able to leverage to provide price appreciation and supply deflation on their own tokens. We have our main token called OBURN that is hyper deflationary, and via a treasury mechanic has price appreciation built into it as well.
Okay, so they can actually help their own protocol by utilizing the Onlyburns protocol to boost themselves.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the big hubbub around town is something called a burn wars. Now, what is this? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so for our Hello World moment, Onlyburns has put $50,000 into our first mega buyback and burn pot. And what this means is that's the minimum that will be in that buyback and burn that we're performing after the end of February and voting closes. And this is the big one. This is the one that all the protocols are fighting over, that they're joining the burn war as combatants to prove that their community is the best and to win this, huge buyback and burn for their project. And the cool thing is, by us selling the pre-sale directly to the protocols, they're able to lock in their voting weight during the pre-sale period at that fixed price. And as their communities join the fray and they start buying OBURN, that post-launch, that feeds how big that pot is, because 10% of our buy tax is collected in BUSD and added to that buyback and burn pot, meaning if all of these communities collectively wind up purchasing around $500,000 worth of OBURN token, that would make the buyback and burn pot $100,000.
Whoa, okay, that's insane. Now, any protocol is absolutely going to explode with $100,000 worth of burn process. I mean, that is nuts. So yeah, I can see why this is definitely the big one. And the fact that the people can get involved as well is even better. So yeah, this is definitely going to be huge.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it, and it's going to be an exciting moment for sure when we go through and we're buying back $100,000 worth of different tokens, different projects' tokens, and then burning them to the dead wallet.
So now, how many winners will there be of the Onlyburns? Is it just the king of the hill kind of system, or how's that going to play?
Yeah, so every month there are 5 winners. The top 5 protocols on the leaderboard receive a buyback and burn. First place obviously gets the most. They get 60% of all of the funds that our ecosystem collects over the period of that month. And then, second place, they get 20%. Third place gets 10%. And fourth place gets 6%. And fifth place gets 4%.
Okay. And now you said earlier that there's a lot of protocols. Can you give us some idea of how many protocols are actually involved in this?
Yeah, so if you want to be aware of each protocol, make sure you're following us on Twitter. So starting today, we're actually releasing the marketing videos that are meticulously crafted for each one of the projects that are joining the Burn Wars for this mega buyback and burn. So while we haven't publicly stated how many have joined yet, because there are new ones joining every day, if you want to know what protocols are going to be competing in this mega buyback and burn, be sure to follow us on Twitter. And we release that every morning. The new contestant, we release that at 10 a.m. Eastern time, which is 2 p.m. GMT.
Okay. Now, I did catch that this morning, and it mentioned Kyoto protocol. Is that correct?
Yeah, Kyoto Swap was the first official combatant in the Burn Wars. And they're going to be competing against a lot of other protocols, trying to win that minimum pot that we're tossing up of $50,000 for our first mega buyback and burn event.
Ooh, that's impressive. Now, if there's a founder out there that wants to get their protocol involved, can they contact you directly? And if they do, will you like sit down with them and like break it down on what's it really worth? Because a lot of us really don't know how to do those calculations, those numbers. Is that something you're willing to do?
Yeah, 100%. So I am generally on calls with project leads of other protocols from about 9 o'clock in the morning to about 4 o'clock a.m. So, but yeah, if a founder of another protocol is interested in joining the Burn Wars, getting themselves and their protocol signed up for this first mega buyback and burn event with that minimum 50 grand pot, then they would reach out to us either via DMs on Twitter, or they could join our Discord and open a ticket in our Discord.
Okay. And now what if a community knows about Onlyburns, but maybe the founders don't, or they want to get them involved? How would you recommend that community kind of push these guys or get involved in it?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you are a community member and you want to see your protocol that you're invested in join the Burn Wars, then come on over to our Discord, open up a ticket. You'll be able to speak directly with me, and I'm happy to, come over, talk with the founders of your protocol, and you just kind of lay out the whole benefit for them. I'll run through the XYK calculations showing how much their token would appreciate in value if they win one of those top 5 spots. And I'll run them through all the details, the marketing that we're doing, joint with a whole bunch of other protocols. A lot of free marketing there, just part of being in the Burn Wars. So yeah, if you want to get them involved, reach out. I'm happy to set that up.
Okay, excellent. Well, that's great to hear, because that's not something that a lot of people would do. And the fact they get to talk to you one-on-one is really awesome, I think. So now let me ask, if I'm in a smaller protocol and maybe there's just no way they're going to compete against these big dogs, what would you suggest? What's a great strategy to make my little protocol come out on top?
Yeah, so if you are in a smaller protocol, maybe you have a smaller community, but you still want to get involved because you want to see buybacks and burns performed on your tokens. A good thing to do would be to lock in some of that voting weight by buying some of the tokens in the pre-sale and then waiting. Let these big protocols duke it out. Let them fire off all their ammo for that mega buyback and burn, because to vote for yourself, you have to burn the O-burn. And the kicker of that is the price of O-burn will likely increase quite a bit as a result of these communities and these protocols buying O-burn and fighting to get those big buyback and burns. So if you're a smaller protocol and you lock in your O-burn at the pre-sale price and then you just sit on it, if you spend, just as an example, let's say you get $4,000 worth of the O-burn token at pre-sale, that's 1.25 billion tokens. Now, let's say the price goes up 3x, and now protocols, they're having to pay like 20 grand in order to be able to compete with you now. Plus, March 1st, after the big buyback and burn mega event is over, we'll be releasing our NFTs. And those NFTs, that tier 3 will actually double your governance weight. So now as a smaller protocol, you paid, 4 grand, 5 grand, back during pre-sale for your O-burn token. And now you have, under that same scenario, you've got, $20,000 worth of O-burn, and your tier 3 NFT is making it worth $40,000 worth of O-burn. So now you're the powerhouse after all the big protocols have fired off their ammo for that first mega buyback and burn.
Gotcha. Now, I heard those NFTs are really hard to get, but my understanding is there's a couple whitelists still available for projects that are interested. Is that correct?
That is correct. We've retained a couple of whitelist spots for protocols themselves, and any protocol for the first 20 protocols, and these are kind of filling up fast, but for those first 20 protocols that commit 10,000 or more to our pre-sale to capture their voting weight at that low price, we will actually be giving them one tier 3 NFT once those are now mintable.
That's impressive. Now, as just a participant or something, if I want to get an NFT, is that something I can still do once they hit the market, or do I have to be a founder to get one?
So once they go live for minting, you would be able to get one. Obviously, if you don't have an NFT whitelist spot, then you might have a little bit of a hard time getting one. But once the whitelist phase is over and it moves to public mint, anyone would be able to pick one up.
Okay. Now, on this mega burn that you're talking about, I'm really curious about this. What's the cutoff for that? What's the timeline?
Yeah, so if your protocol is interested in joining, I would highly recommend that you reach out and get a hold of us before February 7th, because that is when our pre-sale goes live. And I want to make sure that I'm not overselling the pre-sale to these protocols. And like I said, that is filling up fairly quickly. Get a hold of us sooner the better. I would consider that probably the cutoff, because at that point, most of that pre-sale is going to be spoken for, if not all of it.
Okay. Sounds good, Cyril. And now they can get a hold of you directly on the Discord or Twitter. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So I manage our Twitter. I'm there on the Discord. If they open a ticket, I'm the one responding. I do have a great team who assists with that, but whenever I see a ticket come in, someone interested in joining the Burn Wars, I hop in there and I handle it directly personally.
Terrific. That's great to hear. I love to see a founder actually up front in the trenches doing the work. I think that's really the sign of a strong protocol.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, Cyril, hey, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, buddy. And thank you all for watching. Now, in closing, I want to give a special thank you to Cyril Keir. Thank you so very much for taking the time to come in here, talk to us, let us know about the Burn Wars. And if there's anything you want to know about Onlyburns or the Burn Wars, jump in the Discord. I'll put a link in the description down below. In there, you can talk to the team, find out everything that's going on with Onlyburns. You can even talk to Cyril Keir personally. So as always, thank you so very much for your time. And until next time, have a great night.